What is the Gauss-Jordan methods, or how to convert this matrix A to diagonal matrix? The diagonal matrix means we have to, you can see this example as diagonal matrix. This is your diagonal matrix. So diagonal matrix means only we have to obtain the elements at the diagonal position, and non-diagonal elements or rest of the elements except diagonal elements should be 0. That is, the diagonal elements are 36, 1, 7. This is your diagonal, and rest of the other elements should be 0. That is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is, this is your diagonal matrix. So we have to obtain such type of matrix, that is diagonal matrix. So convert this matrix A to diagonal matrix by using row transformations only. So what is this sequence for obtaining diagonal matrix? So here we can see first obtain 0 below, which are the elements which are below the first diagonal element by using row transformation. So we are obtaining zeros here, which are previous step, which are 6 and 2. So using these two elements are below first diagonal, hence use first row, that is R1, to get 0 here. So the how to get 0 here? So R2 minus 3 into R1, that is R2 element is 6, and when we multiply 3 to 2 we get 6 here again. So 6 minus 6 goes to 0. So use the transformation as R2 minus 3R1. R2 minus 3R1, we get 0 here. Then how to get 0 here? As both the elements are same, just we have to subtract these two elements, and these two elements are from R3 and R1. So by taking the transformation as R3 minus R1, R3 minus R1. So R3 minus R1 we will get by using this transformation R3 minus R1, we get 0 here. So this is your first step. Then second step is this, see this second diagonal element here. So we have to obtain 0 at the rest of the positions. That is, this is your sequence to obtain the diagonal elements. That is, obtain 0 below the first diagonal element, that is 1, 2 elements should be 0. Then we have to obtain 0 at this third position, then obtain 0 at fourth position, then obtain 0 at fifth and sixth position. So this is your sequence for diagonal matrix, to obtain diagonal matrix. So remember this sequence. So first we obtain 1, 2 position, or obtain 0 at this 1, 2 position by using row transformations. These are the row transformations. So we get 0 here. Then third position is this, that is we have obtained 0 at this minus 9 position. How to get, or what are the next transformations? So as I said that if there are some rows with minus sign, then convert these all elements to positive numbers, so that there is no any mistake will be done by you. So convert these minus sign numbers to positive numbers by using these transformations. So minus 1 R2 will give you positive numbers. Then as there is the same numbers minus 9, so by dividing by minus 9 to R3 we get small numbers, that is 0, 1, 0 and 1. Then the third position is this. So we have to obtain 0 here. How to get 0 here? By using this element is below the second diagonal element. So second diagonal element is at the R2 position. So use R2 to obtain 0 here. How to get? Multiply 1 to 18 or 18 to 1 minus this R2 number, that is 18. So this is your next transformation, 18 R3, that is 18 into R3 number, 18 R3 minus R2, we get 0 here. So this is your next transformation, we get 0 here. Then next position is fourth position here, that is we have to obtain 0 here. How to obtain 0 here? So this is again above the second diagonal element, so use R2 or second row to get 0 here. How to get? Again same method, that is multiply these two numbers are 8 and 18. So multiply 18 to 8 and 18 to 8, or multiply 18 to 8 and 8 to 18. So the transformation, next transformation is we have to obtain 0 here using R2, as this number is above second diagonal element. So use second row only, not the other. We don't get, if we use this R3 here instead of this, if we use R3 third row here, we don't get 0 here. So use this number is above second diagonal, hence use R2 for getting 0 here. So 18R1, that is multiply 18 to 8. So 18R1 minus 8R2 number, that is 8R2. We get 0 here. These transformations same we have to apply on B matrix. So this is just a calculation. So concentrate on how to get diagonal matrix, that is concentrate on matrix A. Next position is fifth position, this. So we have to obtain 0 here, as this element is above third diagonal element, that is R3. So get 0 here, and again sixth position is 0. So sixth position is this minus 20. So we have to obtain 0 at this position, 7 and minus 20. Instead of 7 and minus 20, we have to obtain 0 there. So these two elements are above the third diagonal element. So use R3 third row to obtain 0 here. So we are obtaining one by one. So at this position 7, how to get 0 here? Using this R3. So just we have to add these two numbers, that is add these two rows, R2 plus R3 will give you 0 here. So we get 0 here. Then next is next transformation, as there are some numbers such as we can divide by 18 to R2 and minus 1, we can multiply minus 1 to R3 to get the positive number. So this is the next transformation, you can use this. Then next is we have to obtain 0 at this position, that is this is your sixth position. So how to get 0 here? This is again the element which is above this third diagonal element. So using R3 obtain 0 here. So multiply 7 to 20 and 20 to 7 and just subtract these two numbers, we get 0 here. So 7R1 minus 20R3, as we have to write R1 position at the first or at the beginning, because whatever the transformations you write or you use, when you write 18R3 minus R2, there is, or you can change the elements in R3 only, not in R2. As you write this transformation at the beginning, you write R3, that is third row, hence you have to change to R3, or you have to change the elements which are from R3 third row. So hence we have to get 0 here, that is this is from R1. So write R1 at the beginning or at the first position. So the transformation is 7R1 minus 20R3 will give you 0. So this is your diagonal matrix, that is only diagonal elements are existed, and rest of the other elements, that is non-diagonal elements, are, you can see here, all are 0. So this is your diagonal matrix. So the Gauss-Jordan method, in Gauss-Jordan method and in Gauss elimination method, same steps are, rest of other steps are same, but only change is we have to obtain diagonal matrix in Gauss-Jordan method, and in Gauss elimination method we have to obtain only upper triangular matrix. So this is your diagonal matrix by using Gauss-Jordan method. Again the next steps are same as the Gauss elimination method. Convert this matrix form in the equations form, we get the values, that is x1, x2, x3. So this is your example from by using Gauss-Jordan method. Next method is Gauss-Seidel method. So what are the steps for Gauss-Seidel method? Consider the system of equations as these are the three equations in x, y, z. See these three equations, and the next step is we can study these steps simultaneously by seeing the example. So consider these equations. So in example where we have asked same xyz equations or any other variables equations, and we have to solve these equations by using Gauss-Seidel method. So what are the steps? So consider this example. These are the three equations in xyz. So we have to obtain the values of xyz from these equations. So as you can see here, we can obtain the value of x from first equation. Also from second equation we can obtain the value of x. Also we can obtain the value of x from third equation. So which equation we have to select to find the values of x or y or z? So there is a rule or there is a condition. If that condition is satisfied, then that equation we have to use for finding x or y or z. So what is that condition? If here the coefficients are a1, b1, c1, a2, b2, c2, a3, b3, c3. If the modulus means the positive value of, there are some coefficients which are also in negative sign, or there are negative numbers which are the coefficients, negative coefficients also there in example. So take the modulus of these coefficients, that is positive value of that number. If there is a number -9, then modulus of -9 is 9. That is, take only positive number instead of negative sign, or neglect that negative sign and take only positive number. So mod -9 will be 9 for example. So this is your condition. Mod a1 should be greater than mod b1, should be greater than mod c1, mod b2 should be greater than mod of a2 c2, mod c3 should be greater than mod a3 and mod b3. So this we can illustrate by using example. So this is your example. So which equation we have to select for finding the value of x or y or z? So here the coefficient should be greater. The coefficient which is greater than the other coefficients by taking modulus, that equation is we have to solve for x or y or z. So here you can see the coefficients like this 8, 4, 6, or you can see like 8 minus 3, 2. So here the coefficient of x is larger in first equation. So take this first equation for finding x. So how to find x? So 8x equal to take minus 3y plus 2z on RHS. So 20 plus 3y minus 2z and take 8 in denominator. That is, the value of x from this first equation is 20 plus 3y minus 2z upon 8. So as the coefficient of x is greater or larger in this first equation, then which coefficient is greater for y, finding y? So 11y. Here the y coefficient is 11 and this is the greater one. So choose this second equation to find the value of y. So value of y is 33 plus z minus 4x upon 11. That is your value of y. And the rest equation is of course for finding value of z. Also this number 12 is greater coefficient of z. So this third equation we have to use for finding z. So what is the value of z? Z equal to 35 minus 6x minus 3y upon 12. So what is the first step for finding the solution by using Gauss-Seidel method? First we have to obtain the values of x, y, z from the given example or from the given equations. How to find or which equation we have to select for finding xyz? So whatever the greater coefficient of that respective variable, that is here 8 is greater coefficient or larger coefficient of x, 11 is larger coefficient of y, and 12 is larger coefficient of z. Hence first equation we have to take by for solving the value of x, then second equation for finding y, and third equation for finding z. These are the three equations: x equal to 20 plus 3y minus 2z upon 8, y equal to 33 plus z minus 4x upon 11, z equal to 35 minus 6x minus 3y upon 12. So this is your first step, that is find the values of x, y, z. This method is iterative method. So we have to find the iterations. So first iteration is, the rule is the final values of x, y, z are these. These are three values of x, y, z. This is your first equation, second equation, and third equation. Then how to find first iteration? So this is your rule. These values are by default or from the rule we have to take as it is for Gauss-Seidel method. So first, in first iteration we have to find the values of x, y, z, and the notations for first iteration are x1, y1, z1. So how to find x1, y1, z1? So first step is, for finding x1 you have to use this first equation. For finding y1 you have to use second equation. For finding z1 we have to use third equation. So how to find x1 from this first equation? For that you have to know the values of y and z, and at the first step we don't know the values of yz. So by default or by the rule of Gauss-Seidel method we have to take the values of yz as 0, 0. So this is your values of yz 0, 0 from the rule itself. So we have to you have to remember these values for finding first iteration. So the values of x1 we can find by taking y equal to 0, z equal to 0. So put y equal to 0, z equal to 0. That is, these are the initial values. So you can take the notation as y naught equal to 0 and z naught equal to 0. So put these values y and z, or y naught and z naught, in this first equation. We get the value of x, which is your first iteration. Hence take the notation as x1. Solving this, by putting these two values in this, we get x1 equal to 20 upon 8, that is 2.5. Then find the value of y1. So for y1 from this second equation we have to know the values of z and x. So what is the value of z? So again take at the first step we don't know the value of z at the beginning. Hence take the initial value as z naught equal to 0. So put here z equal to z naught, that is z equal to 0. Then what is the value of x? As for Gauss-Seidel method, for finding y1, below this step there are we know the two values of x, that is the value of below this step, what is the value of x? We have to take for Gauss-Seidel method we have to take the updated or new values. That is, for finding x1 we don't know the values of y and z. So take the initial values of y and z as y naught equal to 0, z naught equal to 0. Put these two values in this, we get the value of x1, that is first iteration. Then for finding y1 from this equation we have to know the value of z and x. So what as there is no any value of z, so take the initial value z equal to z naught, that is 0. Then there exists the value of x. You don't need to take the value of x as 0, because we get here the value of x as x1. So use this new x1 at this substitution. So for finding y, put z equal to z naught as there is no any other value of z here or in previous step, in these two steps. So put z equal to z naught or 0 here, and as we get the value of x as x1, so take x1, that is put x1 equal to 2.5 here, we get y1. By calculation we get y1 equal to 2.0909. In iterative method, take up to 4 digits. The iterative values are the values of x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2, etc. We have to take up to 4th digit, that is 2 equal to, such as this is your 4th digit solution of z1 or 4th digit value of z1, 1 2 3 4. So write the answer in 4th, up to 4th digit. So next step is we have to find z1 from this third equation. So what is the value of z1? For that we have to know the values of xy. So when while we calculating z1 in previous step, we get the values of xy. The new values of xy are x1 and y1. As there is a value of y, two values we know in previous steps, that is y equal to 0 and y equal to 1. But for calculating further iterations or further iterative values, we have to take the new values of that xyz variables. So for finding z, that is z1, take the new values of x and y. The new value of x is x1, new value of y is y1. So put these x1 values in this third equation, we get the value of z1. So this is your first iteration, that is the values of x1, y1, z1. How to get first iteration? First iteration, find x1 by putting here y equal to 0, z equal to 0, that is initial values. Then for y1, take z equal to 0 and x equal to x1 here. For finding z, take new values of x, that is x1, and new value of y is y1. So put value of x1 and y1 here, we get value of z1. So this is your first iteration. Same steps we have to carry out for the further iterations. So the second iteration is to find x2, y2, z2. So how to find x2? Again use this first equation. So for first equation we have to know the value of y and z, new values of y and z. So here we have to we get the new values of y as y1 and new value of z as z1. So put y equal to y1, z equal to z1 here, we get the next iteration. As we are calculating second iteration, hence we have we get the second iteration from x as x2. So put y1, z1 in this equation, we get x2. Then how to find y? For that we have to know the values of z and x. So what is the new value of z? Is z1, and what is the new value of x is x2. As the value of x is x1 also, here the value of x is x1, that is 2.5. Again the new value of x here is x2, that is 2.9981. So as we know, for Gauss Seidel method we have to use the new values which we obtain in previous step. So here for finding y, we have to know new value of z and new value of x. So new value of z in previous step is z1, new value of x in previous step is x2, which we found in second iteration, that is in earlier step. This value for x2 is 2.9981. So put z equal to z1 and x equal to x2 in this equation, we get the second iteration, that is y2. Then for third value, that is for third value z2, we have to know the new value of x and new value of y. So what is the new value of x in previous step is x2, and what is the new value of y in previous step is y2. So use x equal to x2 and y equal to y2 in this third equation, we get the value of z. So continuing these steps, and by taking the new values of x, y, z, obtain the further iterations. So when this example we have to stop till the last two iterations have same value up to 4 digit numbers. That is, here this is your second iteration. Use new values, find third iteration, then fourth iteration, fifth iteration. This example goes to sixth iteration, seventh iteration, and eighth iteration. And we stopped here this example. Why we stop this? Because the last two iterations are 7th and 8th. So in 7th iteration, the value of x, as this is the 7th iteration, as this is the 7th iteration, hence the notations are x7, y7 and z7. The value of x7 is 3.0167, value of y7 is 1.9859, value of z7 is 0.9118. So this is your 7th iteration. In 8th iteration, the values of x8, y8, z8 are 3.0167, 1.9859 and 0.9118. So what is the final values of x, y, z for this example? By Gauss-Seidel method, we have to compare the last two iterations such that the values of x, y, z in both the iterations should be same. As we stopped here up to 8th iteration. Why we stopped here? Because in 7th iteration the value of x7 is 3.0167 and in 8th iteration the value of x8 is same as x7, that is 3.0167. Hence these two values of x7 and x8 are same. Hence this is your final value of x, that is x equal to 3.0167. What is the value of y7 and y8? Both values are same, 1.9859, 1.9859. Hence the final value of y is 1.9859. What is the value of z7 and z8? 0.9118, 0.9118. So both the values are same, z7 and z8 are same. Hence the final value of z is 0.9118. So we have to stop the example or stop the iterations up to the iterations such that the last two iterations have same values, same value of x, same value of y and same value of z. Here we can see x7 equal to x8, y7 equal to y8 and z7 equal to z8. Hence we stopped here, and the final solution, that is final values of x, y, z are these numbers, that is 3.0167, 1.9859 and 0.9118. So this is your example by Gauss-Seidel method. So the next example is you can solve the rest of the examples. Only further we can see what is the equation we have to select for finding the first step. That is, here you can see the coefficient of x is greater in this first equation. So solve this first equation for x. Then here the coefficient of y is larger. So solve this second equation for y. Here the coefficient of z is larger, that is 10. So solve this third equation for 10 for z. And here the coefficient of u is greater here in fourth equation. So solve this fourth equation for u. Then for this example, here the coefficient of x is 9, which is greater. So solve this equation, first equation for x. Then in second example, the coefficient of z is greater. So solve this second equation for finding z. And you can see here from first equation, we are finding the value of x. So this is the value of x. Then from second equation, as the coefficient of z is greater here, don't consider the minus sign, as there is a rule that we have to consider only positive numbers or positive coefficients. So here 9 is greater for x. Solve this first equation for x. Here 6 is the number, not minus 6. So take positive number as 6. So 6 is the greater coefficient of z. So solve this second equation for z. Then rest of the third equation is for y. So From this equation, first equation is for x, second equation is for z, and third equation is of course for y. In next example, here 100 is the greater coefficient for x1, so solve this first equation for x1. Then in second equation, the coefficient of x2 is greater, that is 80, consider 80 positive number, so solve this second equation for x2. In third equation, the coefficient of x4 is greater, so solve this third equation for x4. And in last equation, as we ask here 4 equations, in previous example we ask only 3 equations, here there are 4 equations, so we have to find the 4 values as value of x1, value of x2, value of x3, and value of x4. In first equation 100 is the greater coefficient, so solve this first equation for x1. In second equation 80 is greater coefficient for x2, hence solve this second equation for x2. In third equation, the coefficient of x4 is greater, that is 110, hence this third equation is to solve for x4. And the fourth equation, of course, rest of the value that is for x3, as 20 is the greater coefficient for x3, so solve this fourth equation for x3 and solve by the previous example. So this is your Gauss-Seidel method.